This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Pro Series Off Topic, episode 124. I hope you enjoyed Pro Series last week, episode 205 with Anya Chang. She is the founder and CEO of a company called Taylor. Taylor is basically a e-commerce store that is powered by AI for men's fashion. Basically, it's like a subscription service for clothing, but for men, and it's all powered by AI. So if you're not someone that is very good in the fashion department, this is kind of like your best friend. And she kind of explains it in the podcast. Really awesome podcast. I've never really talked to anybody in the e-commerce space on the podcast, so it was very cool to talk to someone in that world and kind of like pick their brain about it all, because I have no idea even where to start or how they even get started. So it was an awesome episode. This Friday, I have a really exciting podcast that I've been planning for, I would say probably, I've been trying to get someone on since last fall or last summer, so 24. And it's finally coming out this Friday. I can't wait for it. I'll be announcing it tomorrow. So stay tuned to that. I like to keep that tease, so you're going to have to wait until tomorrow to figure it out. Is there anything more soul crushing than someone buying that multi-million-dollar home that you saved on Zillow that you're planning on putting an offer on once you won the lottery? Honestly, it is soul crushing. There's so many homes that, I talk about this on the podcast all the time. I go on realtor.com and Zillow all the time and look at houses in areas that I probably would never move to, but I just love looking at these houses with people that have huge budgets. And sometimes it's scary because like it's not good, and that's why I kind of developed that series of you can't buy good taste, and I haven't done in a while. I need to do one maybe this week, but I've always saved so many, and going into it and seeing that someone bought it, it sucks. I know I could never afford that house, or right now I could never afford that house, but still, why would you do that to me? Let's get into the first topic. When it comes to social media, the algorithm is always a nightmare to deal with. But right now, it's favoring experimentation versus consistency, which consistency has been my my big word on this podcast and on social media. I've always said stay consistent, which is still true. Stay consistent on posting, but don't stay consistent on the same content. And that's something I've been trying to change up, because sometimes it's easier to just plop something into a template. And this past weekend, I gave it a try, and I've always loved country music. That's why I added it to this off topic, and that's kind of reason why this off topic is a podcast. And I started posting about like my new releases that I talk about in this podcast on Saturday. Noticed it was like a 300% increase in profile visits and engagement on my profile, and then released my top concerts I've ever been to, country concerts I've ever been to yesterday, and again my account went up another 280%. So it's insane what people are doing right now, and definitely look into the analytics, because likes was always like the metric that everybody wanted to see before, but go into your actual professional dashboard if you're a creator account or a business account and look at the percentage of engagement or profile visits. These two posts have gotten me, I think it's like 70% more I had more non followers look at my profile in the past 2 days than I've ever had. And that's huge. So I'm going to continue to do that, kind of change stuff up. And yes, these podcasts are still going to happen, but maybe they won't be happening in the way that I put content out on them before. So we'll see how that works. But everybody has short attention spans, and I think you guys all know that. And viewers scroll past consistent, boring posts that they're seeing every single week, just plopped into the same template, just new content. So, content dies, something surprising and funny hooks them. That's what people are liking. They're not wanting to hear a whole video, a minute and 30 video of something. So short snippets, and that's my biggest takeaway from what I've read in the past week. And doing it myself, I can tell you it works. So change stuff up, do something that you're a little bit afraid of. You'll be surprised on it all. Next up, I want to talk into country music. Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton came out with their retro music video for a song to sing, which I've said many times it's my favorite song this summer released. They dropped it's like a 70 inspired music video for that duet. Their voices sound amazing. They filmed it in Nashville Roller Rink, and it's kind of like meets Dolly and Kenny Roger vibes back when they were doing all those duets back in the 70s. So it was a perfect kind of segue into it. It's already the most added country song on the radio, debuting at 20 on the country airplay chart. I just feel like it is a perfect mix of nostalgic country music back in the 70s to disco music to now. Um, when they announced it, didn't really know how their voices were going to mesh, but I feel like it is so good. It's like a blessing in disguise. So check that out. It's a great music video. Next up, it was announced this week Carrie Underwood has officially been recognized as the highest certified female country artist in RIAA history, with a staggering 72 million certified units in the United States. So basically, she is the highest selling female country artist in the United States. Shania Twain is still the highest selling female country artist nationally, but not in the United States. Um, these certifications come from the Recording Industry Association of America. So a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, I did the top selling country artists, and people were like so angered that I said what they were. They were all from the RIAA. So if you want to test the facts, go onto their website and look at it. It is pretty simple and spelled out for you. But it kind of goes into like what they kind of take into consideration. It's the milestone. It's just a number. It reflects the popularity across the streaming services, physical sales, digital downloads, and overall everything from the beginning of their career to now. So it's insane to think. I think she needs a new album coming out like tomorrow. Like it needs to happen. Um, well, next up, Morgan Wallen made big news like he always has. I feel like every week I'm talking about Morgan Wallen, and this week it is he has chosen not to send in his album into Best Country Album at the Grammys this year. I think people are kind of he's never come out and said any of why he's doing this or that he is doing this. It's just kind of one of those things that his team's wording got out that they're not going to send it into the Grammys for consideration this year. And a lot of people are implying that it's just because Beyonce won the Grammy of last year. But I honestly don't think Morgan Wallen cares about awards. I just don't feel like he cares about that type of recognition. I feel like his recognition is his tours and his fans, and that says a lot. You might not like the guy, but I feel like he is powered by the fans and his tours, and that's all he needs. He doesn't really go to award shows, doesn't really care to win. Like, hey, he won the CMA Entertainer of the Year last year, wasn't even there. So I just don't think he really cares. So I don't see it as a big, huge deal. But let's get into new music of the week. So much new music. First up, Lainey Wilson came out with the deluxe version of her album last year, Whirlwind. Like I said last year, it's not my favorite Lainey Wilson record. I liked her last Bell Bottoms Country record, but this one has four new songs: King Ranch, King George, King James, Yesterday, All Day, Every Day, Bell Bottoms Up, Peace, Love, and Cowboys. My favorite one is Bell Bottoms Up, which was already released. Great song. Next up, Big X the Thug, who was actually arrested the night of his album release, so Thursday night, came out with an album called I Hope You're Happy Now. Yes, it's a hip hop artist, but Majority of the songs on this album are from country artists like Darius Rucker, Jelly Roll, Bailey Zimmerman, Ella Langley, Luke Combs, Shabuzi, Tucker Wetmore, and Thomas Rhett. All great songs. Still, my favorite might be the Ella Langley song or Bailey Zimmerman song. But the Tucker Wetmore song, All About You, and the Thomas Rhett song, Long Nights, is it just me or do they not sound like themselves on this record? I'm not saying they sound bad or like sound auto tuned or something. It just sounds like a completely different artist. And they're great songs. Don't get me wrong. Just I had a second. Usually when I hear an artist, I could tell who it is if it's country artist. But that one I just couldn't. My album of the week, which I already announced on Saturday, was Russell Dickerson, Famous Back Home. Huge fan of his. Went back through his discography. He's such an underrated artist. This album is great. My favorite, probably off of the ones that he has not already released, is probably Worth Your While. But Bones is still up there. I love Bones. It came out last year off of an EP, but even the wedding version of the Bones, go check that one out. It's great. But Russell Dickerson, big fan. Billy Currington's coming out with a new album. He just announced called King of the World, which is one of the songs that I actually talked about last week or the week before on Off Topic. But it's going to be a 10-song record. We haven't had one from him for a long time, so I'm excited. Big Billy Currington fan. So excited to see that. Another album that came out this week, Walker Hayes, 17 Problems. You might not be a Walker Hayes fan because his music is and his sounds a little bit different than what you were expecting or what country music is, but I'll tell you what, his songwriting is top tier. Like, just listen to these songs, like Song for My Son, which is my favorite song off the album, and that is with Kane Brown. Great song, means so well. Same with Bible Sales Are Up. And then my second favorite song is Next Wife. Sounds kind of horrible, but go listen to it. You're gonna love it. I feel like it's a great song for country radio. Just check out those songs. Next up, Ashley Cook came out with a song called Swear Words, which she released on a tease on social media. It's a great song. I can't wait for what I feel like she's coming out with some great songs, and this album's going to be amazing. Dasha came out with a song called Like It. Like It Like That. It's okay. I'm not a huge Dasha fan. And last up, Keith Urban came out with a live version of his song Straight Line, which is my all time favorite song off of his latest record, High. Go check that out. That's all I have this week. Hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll tell you who is on my Pro Series this week that I'm super pumped about. But that's all I have this week. Hope you enjoyed your day. Hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll talk next week.